For everyone watching. If this is your first time checking us out, I'm Enrique. And what's your name, man?
My name is Alex, although a lot of people call me Yabonks, even though that's
That's
the name
right.
of my goose. So,
That's right. And we
how's
might
your
have Austin joining us. I don't know.
how's your day going? I know today was a little hectic trying to get this all organized.
Yeah, it's been hectic on a number of different levels. Just a lot going on, busyness. I have family in town. It's Friday, so we have a football game tonight for the high school, and my daughter's in the band. And yeah, it's craziness, man. It's been a wild day, and yeah, glad we were able to get on here. And I hear there's going to be a little bit of a giveaway as well, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so giveaway is going to be for this gear. Basically, this is not a sponsored episode, by the way, but the Project Peg Hub sent me a whole bunch of swag, and they're allowing me to give away $100 worth of swag in their merch shop. So that could buy a lot of stuff, like all this stuff, basically shirt, hat, mug, polo shirt that you see there if you're trying to be
Oh, I didn't
professional.
even see that.
Yeah,
Nice.
and then probably another small thing like a water bottle or a mug or something. So yeah, $100. And I have been running this on Gleam for the past 2 weeks, and there are a lot of there are over 200 entries into it. So it's going to be fun. A lot of people have been waiting for this. People love free swag, t-shirts and mugs and all that stuff. So it'll be fun. Anyway, it's the Peg Hub merch shop. I think it's like shop.peghub.com. If you haven't signed up for the contest, there is still time, I believe. Check my Twitter page at Yabonks Official and check the pinned post there. And oh, okay, nope. The contest has ended. All right. Officially on Gleam. So if you haven't entered in, that's too bad. But you had 2 weeks to get in there. So if you haven't entered into this one and you missed out, make sure to follow me on Twitter, subscribe to my YouTube channel, be in my join my Telegram channel. Those links are all in the description if you're watching this on my platforms. And then that way you won't miss out when I do giveaways like this. I've got so many giveaways coming as well. So at the end of this show, I'll pick the winners for this one for the $100 of swag, and then I will immediately start up another giveaway. I've got like a pre-send NFT to give away. I know those are hot right now.
Oh yeah.
I think I've got some bomb money NFTs that I might be able to finagle to do some giveaways with, and those are worth a little bit. And then I've also got an Ames giveaway I'm going to do at some point, and I've got some other giveaways going, all backlogged. You know how I do, Enrique. I'm always behind. So,
Well, is that why you had a all-nighter last night? Because you're always behind?
yes, it's just running this business basically single handedly is a lot. So, at nighttime, like I will do live streams and shows and collaborations and videos during the day, and then at night when I have like silence and peace to myself, I will do like the tech setup, manage like social media, uh build things out, set up my like studio, configure my camera, figure out all the tech side of being a YouTuber. um there's just a lot that goes into it, as you know. Yeah.
It can be. It really can be, especially when you're super busy with AMAs and all sorts of stuff, and learning new protocols are also different. It can be a little much. It can be a little
Yeah,
much.
and on top of that, I'm trying to like learn TA trading from you. So like at the same time, I'm trying to keep learning like how to be a better trader. I'm trying to learn the new protocols that everybody's like telling me, oh, you got to check this one out. You got to
Hmm.
check that one out. So I'm trying to figure out all these new DeFi protocols at the same time, plus the ones I'm studying for my AMAs and my videos. And then on top of that, you get these
Traveling.
crazy you get these, yeah, traveling. I'm going to Dubai with hydro whales and Project 79 next week and James Pelton. So I'm like trying to figure out how to be a worldly traveler. And, and then on top of that,
That's cool.
you get rugs and exploits and hacks. So I spent hours last night dealing with this whole BNB smart chain hack, BSC. And so I'm like updating my communities on like 10 different platforms, and everybody's asking me questions, and I'm trying to explain
Yeah.
what's happening. And
So
we
Alex
should
was
probably talk about that.
yeah, so because I didn't understand until I think I finally understood it. So they didn't really steal any BNB. They actually minted it out of thin air. They found a
I,
vulnerability that allows you to mint out of thin air, correct?
I do believe so. Yeah. And it was something, I think they like spoofed like the validation of a block, and somehow, yeah, basically created 2 million BNB. Well, they created 1 million BNB out of thin air twice, and then was able to pull it off of Binance Smart Chain, at least almost $100 million worth. They were able to pull out before they paused the network. Now, I know a lot of people also, I want to talk about pausing the network. Some people say, oh, it's not decentralized, this and that. Well,
Yeah.
what happened, it's not like CZ has a big red switch that he can push, right? There are still validator nodes that need to be managed. So there are people running these validator nodes, and I think for consensus on Binance Smart Chain, you need 7 of them. 7 of the, like, I think there are at least, I forget, like 44 of them in total right now, but you need 7 of them to all agree on something. But forgive me if my numbers are wrong. Go double check this stuff. It's been a long night, but like you need like 7 of them. So CZ, what he publicly tweets out, "Hey guys, validator people, if you're listening, I need you guys to stop your validator nodes and pause the network." And if he gets enough of them to do this at the same time, then yeah, then they can actually pause the network. And you could do the same with Ethereum if you wanted to. You could do the same with any EVM based chain. You just need enough of the validators to agree on something to do something like this. So, and that's, I mean, that happens with when developers like for Ethereum or even Bitcoin, when they
Hmm.
come up with like new proposed code, they have to roll that out to all the nodes, and you have to get everybody to agree on the new changes, or at least the majority have to agree in a consensus. So there is some level, and that is decentralized communication and organization, DAO, if you will, and DAO. So there's that level of decentralization on the blockchain with Binance Smart Chain or BNB chain. And so people, when they make all these memes that, CZ can just press a button, it's not
Hmm.
like that. He still has to convince the validator. Now, whether those people who own the validator nodes are his like, employees,
Yeah.
I'm not
First
sure.
cousins. Yeah.
Exactly. So there is probably some level of like centralized control in terms of governance. But in terms of validation of the blocks and everything like that, that's still fully decentralized. That it's so like it is still decentralized, and even Solana. People make jokes about Solana with this because it's like centralization for extra speed and stuff like this. But they're actually pretty decentralized too. I know I'm gonna get shit for this, but they I forget how many they need for a consensus, like 32
I'm
validator
pretty sure it
nodes,
is 32. Yeah. I'm pretty
something
sure.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So I just want to like put out some information out there for people to start. Like, I know a lot of people listening are hardcore DeFi folks and might already know this stuff, but a
Yeah.
lot
And
of
to the
people,
11 of them already watching, what's up? Thank you for logging in already. Sorry for the
yeah,
last minute changes.
last minute changes, and I actually didn't send this out yet, so I'm gonna tweet this real quick.
Very cool.
So
Well,
tell me, while I'm
while
sending
you
these
do that,
out, what have
yeah.
you been working on this week? Eh,
Just a little bit of trading. As you know, I try never to overtrade. I've been very busy with, my real job as well. So it's just a lot going on, but I think I'm still averaging probably about one trade a day or two, nothing too major. And there's been a couple days where I didn't even trade. But to what you're talking about a second ago, I've kind of gone down the deep kind of rabbit hole a little bit in regards to like Solana and Near, and really trying to see what makes some of the L1s, in my opinion, elite, and something that we really want to start decent to now. Because I mean, I think I started talking about Near last week, and looking at Solana and its speed, it is pretty amazing. I mean, it's like so freaking fast, and it's faster than Near right now. Near has the
Mhm.
ability to become faster one day if they, I guess, accomplish everything that they're trying to do with their sharding. I think it's called night sharding. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I was amazed that even Near is like 200 times faster than Ethereum and cheaper. Like, this technology is ridiculous, Alex. I mean, it's just crazy ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so it just like made me so much more bullish on it. I'm super bullish on Near. I'm really, really bullish on Near. I think that it has a lot more potential than Ethereum or Solana as far as price action in the next bull run. So I think that's the one I'm trying to load up on the most. So like part of what I make in trading, I'm just trying to like DCA into it and DCA into it. And my goal is to have like 10,000 Near tokens. I'm up to 1,500. I just started this week, but I want to get like so many of those Near tokens because that technology is just ridiculous. The fact that
Yeah.
it can make itself like infinitely scalable, like wow, like even I get that, and I'm not very technical. So I'm just really blown away by that technology, and it really makes me wonder where things will be. And if you talked about Solana, so I'm bringing it up. If Solana keeps having the issues that it's having, with the fact that it has downtimes, with the fact that if you interview any developer, they've said it that it's like eating glass is the equivalent to building and developing in Solana is like eating glass. So you put all those things together, and that's kind of like Near's big competitors, Solana. So if Solana can't get its act together, I mean, who knows how big Near can run? I already have a price target of $60 to $100 a token in the next bull run for Near. I know it sounds crazy. I sound like a moon boy. I never sound like a
No,
moon
no,
boy.
I'm right there with you. Not
Okay.
financial advice, but I am right there with you with Near. I think they're at least going to hit 20 again. So that's what, like
Hmm.
4 or 5x from where they are now,
Yeah,
and the next
almost
bull
like
run,
five and a
they're
half.
probably
Yeah.
going to surpass that by multiple times. Not financial advice. I'm just guessing, but yeah,
Hmm.
60 I think is a realistic goal in my head.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, and maybe more. And if they can grab a bunch of the market share from Solana, because Solana can't get its act together, then maybe we can start having a discussion about 100, 150. I mean, Solana got excuse me, Solana got as high as 280. So,
Yeah.
so why can't Near do half of that? I mean, so I'm just
And
trying to
and
think ahead.
Solana has twice the market cap of Near right now, and Solana is actually a top 10. So
Hmm.
Near has more, I think, upside potential just to even catch up to where Solana is in terms of market cap. So I think the potential
Yeah.
upside for Near is bigger. I think I think Solana is gonna, do well as over time as well, especially next bull run. They'll probably hit those same numbers again and surpass them. But in terms of total upside, I think Near will probably be at least twice as much upside. I don't know. I'm guessing you're the TA guy, but I think both of
Well,
them are going to be around. If
yeah, I
you,
think both of them will. Yeah, yeah. I'm not
yeah,
saying it
and
has to be one or the other. Yeah.
if you look at both of their communities of developers and like the developers leading the charge, like Solana Labs and like the Near developers, they're all super active, super smart people. I follow a bunch of them on Twitter. They're very sharp, very intelligent, uh, and I learn a lot from them, both Near and Solana. So I love following
Mhm.
all these people on Twitter, like all the different people from their developer labs and programs, and just seeing like their takes on these situations. And that's how I learned a lot of stuff about like some of the differences between the different chains, like BNB Smart Chain versus like Solana or Near, because a lot of times the actual developers working on these chains will pipe it, like they'll pipe up and give their 2 cents. And it's funny
Mhm.
seeing some of these people who are in the weeds, nose to the grindstone, building these networks out all day, every day for years, chime in and say, okay, you guys, your memes, they might be funny, but they're super inaccurate and incorrect. This is what's actually happening.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, to add to your point, so yeah, I think Solana is at 4.5 times Near's fully diluted market cap. So again, another nod to Near there as far as price action. And the other thing was that I think both of them lead the way as far as protocols that have gotten the most VC money after they launched. So so that's a big thing as well, right? Because they want to get that money back. They want to see profits from that money, right? The VC. So you know they're going to market the hell out of it. So you know that there's going to be a huge marketing campaign for both of those come the next bull run because of that. So it's like all these things just add up to where I think you're gonna see a lot of Near and Solana in all the marketing, all the big YouTube channels, all that kind of stuff. And I think it's going to be very, very fun to see that. But it's just going to be so hard not to sell when you're like, it hits 10, right? And you're like, well, it hit 10. That's psychological. Maybe I should sell some now. When we hit 15, that's when you really have to battle yourself and just like have the end in mind. Or if you want to take profits, whatever, to everyone it's different. But for me, I want to ride all my Near tokens all as high up, at least 60. That's going to be my goal. So, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. And I got to put on my normal hat.
Yeah, you look weird with not your normal hat.
I know. I love my normal hat. No offense. The Peg Hub hat's very nice. And so whoever wins this giveaway is going to enjoy it. But at the same time, I love my hat.
All right, man. So I gotta ask, and I don't even know if you're the right person to ask because I know you've been so damn busy. But what exactly happened with Spring Game?
Dude, good question. Their LMS got very low on funds, and that's basically what happened. They got down to like what 80,000, and it basically was like critical levels for them, I think, where they started they had to make a tough decision, and they brought this to the community and said, hey, the LMS has been draining faster than we expected, and demand for the trees has not kept up. So like people were still buying the trees, but just not at the rate that they were burning funds in terms of development and the emissions. So like the whole thing was to raise development funds for that mobile game, which they did. They raised enough funds to keep working on it, and they're still building it out. But the tokenomics of their tree NFTs, I don't think it was sustainable. I think it was too aggressive, and like because you got to find that balance of like making it desirable for people, especially like the APR chasers, right? For marketing purposes, like that's what people are looking for out here in DeFi. So is it desirable for those people to generate enough demand? And you have to balance that with sustainability. Is it sustainable beyond, like, is it sustainable for the length of the runway that you think you'll need to develop your product and utility to then transition to the next phase of your business, which is their play to earn mobile app? And they didn't, like, there's a gap. Their runway ran out because the tokenomics and demand didn't pan out exactly as they saw. So there's a gap now between the LMS being sustainable and the mobile app being developed. So they've got to span that gap. And it's just a PR nightmare, obviously. Like people are mad, people are pissed, people are thinking they lost their entire investments. Not investments, their entire experimental
there you go.
Their experiment. They lost the tokens that they threw into this experiment. Just, after this whole Kim Kardashian thing, we're all shook, bro. You know what I'm saying? No, so so we even I know Austin, he had a lot of trees. I wish he was here right now, because I want his opinion on this, because I know he is mad about this. I'm messaging him right now. We are talking about you and Spring Game. Get in here. So yeah, I think Austin might be on another live stream right now, or another show or something.
I think so, yeah.
Or might be recording a video, but yeah. So he had bought a lot of trees recently, and because he's all about the LMS systems, like with Horde and everything, and and he's pretty diversified, right? So he's got a little bit, he's got tokens everywhere. He has been doing this for a while. He's built up his DeFi portfolio. Plus he's got like real estate, and he's doing all this other stuff too. But still, it hurts when one of those positions takes a hit, right? And to hear that you just put like $1,000 or more into a project, and then like a week or two later, they're like, by the way, you're not gonna get anything else out of this. It's basically done. that sucks, right? Like that's a punch
Yeah.
to the stomach.
Yeah.
So
And he usually goes in
yeah,
for more than 1K. So I'd be surprised if he only went in for 1K.
I think he went in for like 3K.
Yeah, that
To
sounds
be
more like him.
honest,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, because I noticed that SPR was gone from Dex Tools for like 48 hours, and then it came back just a little bit ago. We did, we gave out those NFTs last week, right? Was it last week or the week
Oh
before? I can't even
yeah,
remember.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
and it took them a while to get them, and I know that a couple of winners. Well, one of them's here, Lady Boss Nat. It took her a while to get it, and then Francisco took him a while to get it, and then the third person, Kenneth, he hadn't gotten it. And then when I finally talked to Jason again about the fact that, hey, one of the NFTs has not been sent yet, it was like, hey, it may not matter. I don't know, and it just seems like it's up in the air. So I didn't even know what the latest was. But I do see SPR back on Dex Tools at 97% loss. So
At a
I guess
97% loss.
it's
Oh
at three
man,
cents.
so yeah, and that's one of the things. Just keeping up to date on all the announcements and news for all these projects we're in takes so much time. I haven't checked on SPR in a few days after those announcements were made. So, oof, yeah. So I'm guessing they turned off the LMS.
Well, they did, but then everything looked fine because I heard about the fact that they turned it off and then everything looked fine. I went to Dex. They were still around 94, 95 cents. And then I don't know. It just seems like everything went wrong the next day. That's when I know something's really wrong, when it wasn't even on Dex Tools. So yeah, so that was crazy to see. But then you have wine making this sick comeback out of nowhere. I don't know if you noticed. We can look at the chart real quick, but wine
Yeah,
went from 11 to
before
25. Go ahead. Go
before we
ahead.
jump into wine, I just want to for those who are like on the edge of their seat or have tokens in Spring Game, I just want to read the latest announcement as of a couple hours ago from Hash, and I really like Hash. I think she's doing her best out here. So I don't want to say anything bad against her or anything. Like these are all experiments, right? These are super small businesses, experimental. So it sounds like the community voted to reopen trading only for those with negative balances for 24 hours to purchase or claim their pending rewards. Okay, so if anybody has pending rewards on their Spring Game tree NFTs, you have 24 hours to go in there and claim them. And then it says, unfortunately, the game rewards have caused a sale of these tokens to exceed the available liquidity in the pool. Yeah, the liquidity pool is gone. So it looks like people claimed and probably dumped. And then, so yeah, I see there's what, like, or wait. I'm looking at the wrong SPR. And is that Austin that just joined?
Yeah, he just joined.
Hey, buddy, how's it going? Ooh, yeah, man.
Might
Are
be
you
muted,
looking at this?
Austin.
Are you looking at this chart, Enrique? So yeah, it went from 95 cents, the lower threshold of the LMS, and now it's at 2 cents, and there's $200 BUSD in the
Oh,
liquidity pool.
look at that
So
chart. Oh my god.
so yeah, so Hash in her announcement said the panic sell caused the SBR token to drop to zero. As a result, the current game is no longer of much interest. There are still tokens left, so you can still buy seeds and water packs if you want to collect all NFTs and display them in your wallets. For all the people who bought their NFT before today, you'll probably have assets in the mobile game, depending on their rarity and generation. As you know, Spring Game's mission was to raise funds through the sale of NFTs in order to develop the mobile game. The game is currently in development, and we will continue to do our best to release it as soon as possible. We will now communicate regularly on its progress. The goal now will be to build a community around this mobile game in order for its release. We are developing a free-to-play on Android and iOS. The game design was done by a person who worked at Ubisoft and in mobile game studios. It'll also be play to earn. The revenue will be distributed in the form of game rewards, whether by playing every day or completing certain quests. And there's also customization aspects of the NFTs in order to customize the plots that will host your trees. And they're aiming at a general public game with a target that doesn't know crypto, blah, blah, blah. And then she says, just some other stuff about their other e-commerce businesses. So, yeah, looks like the whole NFT tree thing with the like daily yield or whatever, daily rewards didn't pan out. The tokenomics were not sustainable. At least not
can
enough.
You guys hear me now?
Hey,
Yes,
there he
we
is.
can.
Austin, tell us your
Oh
experience
my
with
goodness,
this.
dude! Been trying to set up my phone. Yeah, game. Uh, I'm banned from their because I was basically like if you're a failed project, you know what an issue because that's a thing in DeFi, right? That's you're taking a game. But it pissed me off with Spring Game, and when they banned me twice actually, was
Twice.
they were literally marketing heavy on V3, marketing it heavy. Same day, come out and say, well, this is running dry. So, like,
I think you're breaking up
why
a
in
little
the
bit. Alex, is he?
Yeah, he's
okay.
breaking up a little bit. Yeah, we hear you.
All right, keep going, man.
But basically, what I was saying was, would you be marketing so hard on and the same day drop this giant bomb, essentially kills your project as far as if you're talking about making money, and you just absolutely have no idea. It had to be something going on in the back of their heads. Something is going wrong, and from a extremely disingenuous to your community that you're trying to claim and say you're great, you're for the community, blah blah. Blah. In the same time, you're stabbing them in the back when of junk essentially, but saying, hey, this is like V3, right? Like you need to come in here, right? And then out of nowhere, it's just like I literally had to reread it like 3 times. I thought I was in the wrong. What is happening? Like you guys literally the same day, we're already making a ton of sales or something. Maple trees, and I was like, what the heck is going on? Like you just conned a bunch of buying these trees, these V3 maple trees. You mean to tell me you didn't know about any of this? I go into their Discord, and when I was my second account, because I'm sitting here trying to investment, but they banned me because they just don't like what I, and I have Thresh in there said that the LMS is strong. That, and I'm like, are you like you guys are just blaming people, right? And you see this go with so base where these people act like they're for their community, literally trying to deceive their community, and it's so care what your mission is for your project. I don't care what you sit here and tell people that your LMS
hey, Austin,
you're
breaking up pretty bad. Yeah.
Are you out on the road again? Austin, are you out on the road or anything like that? Yeah, your audio, like, it was interesting. Like we'd get a chunk, and then another chunk of audio would start like coming in and like overlap it, and it was interesting. But while he's repositioning himself, because I know he's on his phone, I just want to say, yeah, I thought the way that they were marketing the maple trees super hard that same day that they later made the call to say we got to pause the LMS. I thought that was strange. I didn't like that either.
Yes, much better.
Yes.
Okay, sweet. I'm like my router at this point.
Cricket wireless.
So, yeah, exactly what Alex was saying is part I started cutting out. But yeah, they're 3 extremely hard, giving off every single got the impression, right?
It's doing it again. Your audio's
again.
Your audio's doing it again.
Oh my god!
Where it's like overlapping your statements.
What is happening?
Yeah.
Hey, what about now? Because I just took out my headphones.
Oh, I think now
Yeah,
we're good.
that sounds a lot better.
Oh my gosh, it probably was my headphones this whole time.
Yeah.
Austin, get off your phone. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm literally like in the middle of grilling right now. I'm sorry. But when it came to them marketing this V3 super hard, making it look like it's the most successful, launch ever, successful sell, and then they just dropped this bomb on the community. It's so disingenuous. And then I don't know if you all heard the second part that just really just even more killed me was Thresh, one of the core team members there. I don't know what their position is. They're telling people in their Discord.
He's the CTO. He's their CTO.
Okay, well, the CTO, which is even now that you say that, even more dangerous and even more concerning, is telling the people in the Discord that LM is strong, that the LMS is strong, that it is strong. It is 100% in no way, shape, or form strong. And this was after people sold and dumped the project. Like people were literally taking profits taking money left. And then I remember, so it's like you have this team that you're okay with being disingenuous and deceiving to your community. Like that's so disgusting. I don't care what your mission is as a project. I don't care what your mission is as whatever. If you're sitting here just trying to deceive your audience to make things sound better than they are, like you're no better than a thief that just straight out scams somebody, in my opinion. Honestly, even more dangerous. And then, yeah, you asked how much I had in there. I put 3,100 in there. It was like, I don't know, a few oaks and a cherry. I think it was. I forgot what it
Oh,
We lost him again.
lost him again.
So strong words from Austin about spring game management right now. Yeah, I mean, I think there is always this weird balance, especially in DeFi, with maintaining community sentiment and confidence, and without, because you don't want to cause a panic sell, and their goal at the same time is to try to generate demand to keep the sales going for the NFTs, to keep paying out the rewards and everything like that, and generating the revenue. So it's like, at what point do you have to like say, okay, we're in this danger zone where we need to start telling the community like things might be not looking so good, and as soon as you do that, it's going to zero, right? As soon as you start, unless you have like a super strong community that's willing to like step up, but that's very rare because DeFi's finicky, especially in a bear market. So Austin, do you want to carry on with what you were saying?
Yeah, sorry guys. I don't know what the heck is going on. But no, the main last thing I want to say is yes. So, and then I was confronting Hash on, if you're so for the community, right? If you're so for your community and you want to make sure people are taken care of, all this blah 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 blah, why in the world, when you open the claims back up, would you still keep such an astronomically high tax for people to get hit with even more? So now, because I didn't claim or anything, so I had 3,100 in there, or 3,100 SPR tokens, and then I got out. On paper, I had like 2,200 SPR, so I literally had like 2 weeks left before I ROI'd, and
wow.
Yeah, so it's really funny. And so then when all this stuff happens, and as soon as they open up trading, you start to see it already dropping. I'm sitting there clicking my ledger and everything. And on top of having to pay, of course, a little bit of slippage or whatever, you got to pay 20% taxes. I had to pay 20% tax back to the protocol, something that's just holding my money hostage essentially, right, due to the high taxes. But anyways, I asked her that, right, and she was just like, oh no, that's that's still going to be there. Like, why would you even allow that to be there when you could simply drop it down to 1% to 2%, which was what the post ROI tax was. So none of this was for the people. And even if you are for the people, and you say the mobile game was the number one thing, like, let's be honest, at the end of the day, people come here to make money. I mean, the mobile game sounds great and it did sound cool, but if your community right now currently is losing money, you need to make your people whole before you even think about some stupid video game. And then if you have anything left, maybe carry on with that, but only then, right? Or just say, admit you're a failed project, and people would have way more respect for you. And then maybe you move on to a full focused crypto game where you have no passive income type of stuff like what, you just did. Like there could have been so many other options if you truly cared about the community versus what we've seen transpired over the past couple days.
Well, you bring up some interesting points, because I think what in the space we're in, this is like a giant fintech incubator, and what DeFi is used for oftentimes is a decentralized form of crowdfunding for
Bootstrapping
getting
liquidity. Yeah.
small businesses bootstrapped, especially games, right? So raising the funds to develop a game is very hard in the real world, right? It's hard to get somebody to give you a couple $100,000 to go and make a mobile game, right? Unless you've got like all this like connections, track record, all this stuff. It's not easy to do. So a lot of people go to like GoFundMe or like there are a bunch of other crowdfunding sites that people do this on, and even those aren't the easiest to do. And especially if you're doing a crypto project, I think there are like guidelines and terms that like you might not be allowed to do that on those crowdfunding sites. So you have to go basically all in on the DeFi side of it to say, we're going to raise the funds in DeFi to build out this DeFi game. Now, the correct way to do that, I don't know. And I think having the tokenomics they did to do that crowdfunding was not sustainable. And then I think how they handled it, I think they mismanaged the PR side of things during this whole debacle, right? They should have probably said a few weeks out, hey, the LMS is getting to a critical zone where once it hits this level, then we're only going to have a couple more weeks if we don't get X amount of sales of new NFTs to continue raising funds for the game, right? And they didn't do that. They basically pushed it out as long as they could, hardcore marketing with those maple trees, like Austin. And then as soon as they hit their like their point of no return, basically, that's when they made the announcement, hey guys, it didn't work. Sorry. And then there are people who like that day just spent like hundreds of dollars on maple trees, right? And they're sitting there like, what?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
so
then
like that, yeah.
And one thing to add to that just further, just on top of everything, just was like, are you kidding me? Like you're.
Uh-oh. Lost him again.
We lost him.
Damn. Every time he's on a roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might have to go.
So,
yeah, we lost him. Okay.
It's it's crazy, man. Like I wish they would have had those contingency, like maybe this was their contingency plan to push it to the last second before letting people know, because like if miraculously community sentiment and demand like went through the roof like the day before their final cutoff day, and and the project survived with the payouts, then like that's I think the hope. But I think that's very risky game of chicken to play with your entire community, right? And especially new players and new participants in the project that you're marketing those trees to still. So yeah, I think maybe they should have said like 3 or 4 weeks out, hey guys, the LMS is looking at critical levels. If sales and demand don't increase, then it's not going to be sustainable and we're going to have to shut it down. So what's this Croc? What's the Coyote dump you're talking about? Because I know they're in a managed trading zone right now where it's only OTC, and they have a managed 30% month after month decline in price until their layer one blockchain. Yeah, it's all set and automated.
But speaking about Coyote, I'm glad that Croc brought it up. Did you guys know that Ripple is now in the carbon credit game?
I didn't know that. No.
$100 million they just invested.
What?
Mm-hmm. They want to be the leaders of the carbon credit integration with the blockchain. And yeah, Ripple's all over that now. So that's going to be Coyote's new competition. Can you believe that? Which I don't think is a bad thing for Coyote, because now it's not going to seem like this crazy idea, right? You got Ripple Labs actually, giving that basically. I mean, I feel like it gives it street cred, the fact that they invested so much money into it. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I don't know if you guys knew that, or Croc knew that.
I didn't. So that's interesting. And I think that actually bodes well for this sector, because it is like the new DeFi gold rush, basically. Crypto gold rush is carbon credit, climate change stuff, and crypto coming together, because blockchain ledgers are one of the best ways to prevent carbon credit fraud, which is a big deal across the world. People double counting carbon credits and doing all sorts of stuff, registering them twice, things like that. So blockchain technology is like the perfect database to manage that on a peerless, trustless way that's hard to manipulate. So that's good. I think we're seeing really big players now trying to get in here. And like Coyote, I know, has a lot of really big partnerships locked down already.
Huge.
Yeah. So that's good, because now this is going to be in the headlines. And when people start looking around for what that means, carbon credits on the blockchain, they're going to see things like Coyote, and they're going to be like, oh, wait, these guys are already almost there, right? Like, they've been building and they've got their timelines all set and everything. So I'm going to have to look into that with XRP. Good. Thanks for letting me know about that.
Yeah, what's really interesting is that they're going to have so much more money behind it. It makes me wonder if they're going to be able to catch up to Coyote pretty quickly, because they have so many funds and so many people working and building on it. Lady Boss Nat just stated that it was supposed to happen today, OTC, but it got delayed. Yeah, it looks like she's on top of all that.
Oh, yeah, because they're aren't they like deploying their new OTC dashboard? The UI should be released like today or tomorrow, so people will be able to OTC in and out with that.
So Alex, when so there's just no point to looking at the chart, right? I mean,
yeah. So
that's how I understood it. Okay.
Yeah. So the chart, I don't think is relevant at the moment, because it's only OTC. Like the liquidity on the dexes, I don't believe is reflects the real state of the Coyote token, because they've taken that to like an OTC. It's only over the counter right now. Like, you can't actively trade Coyote in the liquidity pools, I believe. And if you're trying, I don't think you should. I don't think it's going to work as you think it might. Not financial advice or anything. Go check out their announcements and everything. Like, they're building fast as they're going into the regenesis phase. So just, check out that stuff. Like, you can't go to like Pancake Swap and buy Coyote, or you can't go sell it either. It's like, you either get in, you either got in on Coyote before they locked it down and went to their managed vesting period, where it's going to go down like 30% or something every month until the blockchain. Now, keep in mind, it's rebasing that whole time. So at the end of it, you end up like with 72x the amount of tokens or something like that. I forget the exact number. It's crazy numbers, but they got big hedge funds trying to get in to it, and they can't sell those hedge funds the tokens at such a volatile price as if it were trading on DeFi, on decentralized exchanges. Because if a hedge fund comes in and says, I want to buy a few $1 million worth, that price is going to go insane, and the slippage is going to make it very hard to give a large organization like that an accurate quote for what they're buying, right? So Coyote, that's why they're doing this. They locked everything down to OTC so they can manage the big hedge funds and the venture capital participants. I always got to remember participants. This is not securities. If you're in the United States, don't participate in any of this, yada, yada, yada.
Some of those players are pretty big, man. They invested a lot. I have a hard time not calling some of those guys investors.
Tons of money, dude. Yeah, no, they're venture capitalists, like some of these venture capitalists have moved around billions of dollars. I've checked out their websites and venture capital databases on them and stuff.
legit.
Anyway, so yeah, so they're trying to buy millions of dollars worth, but Coyote's like, look, if you buy a few $1 million worth, the price is going to go crazy. The slippage is going to make the deal that we're trying to give you not good, right? Because we're gonna quote you this price, but the slippage is going to make the price go crazy, and then people are going to try to. So they locked it all down, and for the next year, as the venture capital is trying to move in here, they're going to have a vesting schedule where it's like, for this month it's going to be this price, next month it's going to be this price, next month it's going to be this price, and the reason why the price goes down during that time is because of the rebasing. So the rebasing function still works on the token, so the token supply is going to still be inflating to their max supply that they want for their layer 1 blockchain when they launch in a year or less than a year at this point. But during that time, venture capital is trying to move in, and like some of the partnerships they got are crazy. So venture capital is trying to get in on that, and it's like, all right, they can give them this price for this month and they can OTC it. And then retailer holders like us, participants, can say, I want to give 5, 10, 15, or 30% of my monthly tokens. I want to sell those to the venture capital people and get BUSD in return during that entire period. Or you can say, I just want to hold diamond hand it, if you will, all the way to the end. That's probably what I'm doing because I'm a crazy degen, and I like, if this works, this could be like my big play of my life, right?
Huge.
So
Yeah.
I'm willing to take a Hail Mary. I'm willing to do a long shot on it. And so basically for me, I'm either going to millions or zero on this play. My wife might think that's stupid. A lot of you might think that's stupid, and it might be stupid. So not financial advice.
Well, did you see Mr. Voss's comment? He doesn't believe in the whole carbon credit. He's just not a believer. So,
Mr. Voss, I think that's a very valid argument. I actually, I see both sides of it, and I might get in trouble with all my Coyote friends and stuff like that. But I've always been of the position that the carbon credit scheme is, God, I don't want to get deplatformed. You know what I mean, Mr. Voss?
Isn't that literally how like Elon Musk makes a lot of his money is tax credits, like carbon tax credits?
1,000%.
Yeah, so that's how he got so much money to start all his businesses.
There's some lucrative side to it, but for DeFi projects to figure it out, it's probably a lot harder.
Yeah, I'm not talking philosophically here. I'm talking straight, like a speculative DeFi play for me, right? And I see a business to business, especially a B2B demand here for this kind of thing, because whether we like it or not, government's going to shove carbon credits down our throats, right? And that is going to be a tax that businesses internationally are going to have to deal with and face the music, whether they like it or believe in any of it or not, whether they agree with the data. And because like there's data and scientific articles on both sides of this argument. It's very complicated. It's not black and white. And I'm going to upset people everywhere with all these statements. I don't care. I'm going to tell you how I think about this. And I'm somewhere in the middle in terms of like, as a business, this is necessary. Whether Coyote does it or somebody else does it, somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to make a lot of money. Kind of like you, Enrique. You're like you provide tax services for people. You're an accountant. You're very good at, and people need that service. Somebody like me will like come crawling to you in April and be like, help, man, I'm so screwed on my taxes. And I will pay you a ton of money to sort my shit out so I don't go to jail. Right.
I'll be like, you have too many rewards, man. No, I don't want to.
And that's kind of what I think like Coyote is, where they are like a B2B service where these big institutions are getting hit with these massive tax payments for these permits for their like carbon credit offsetting, for their carbon credit cap, their emissions caps that these regulatory bodies force on them. And they have to deal with that. Right. So they're going to like reach out to somebody like Coyote and be like, hey, can you simplify and streamline the process of getting me carbon credits to offset my emissions, so I'm under the emissions cap set by my jurisdiction? And those people will pay Coyote a lot of money, or even better, they will buy the synthetic carbon credits for that. And just as part of like the inherent like structure of the tokenomics and of the Coyote business, they will actually get a deal on these carbon credits. So like the businesses will actually get these cheaper than if they were to go through traditional routes. It'll be simplified. They're not going to have to pay somebody to manage this full time on their company. They'll be able to just basically make a deal with Coyote, go to the marketplace, buy what they need, walk away, boom, their offsets are done. And then Coyote basically, the real nice thing is Coyote's allowing big organizations like that to stake liquidity and become liquidity providers for their carbon credit marketplaces on these DeFi dexes they're building. So big players are going to put down millions of dollars in liquidity for these dexes, and in return, they are going to get carbon credits at a discount. So all of a sudden, these people they stake liquidity for 5 years, and at the end of that 5 years, when they unstake, all their carbon credit emission costs, all their carbon credit offsets costs are paid for just from the liquidity farming. And I just think that's a really clever idea of how to use DeFi and blockchain tech with the carbon credits.
Amazing. Yeah.
To give a B2B, basically a great deal for these people who are under the boot, if you will, right? And a lot of the Coyote people, I love them all, right? Their community is awesome. Like I'm talking like the people in the community are just like good-hearted people. And a lot of them are along the lines of like, we're doing this to save the planet and all that. There is that benefit to where this allows certain organizations to be totally funded by carbon credit generation just from planting trees. And that's what I think is the cool, like the other side of that coin, like the silver lining behind super intense government regulatory like pressure and control over our lives, which I think is scary. I
Super
think
scary.
I'm trying to look for a silver lining to that future instead of being totally dystopian about it and just saying, okay, well, this will allow reforestation groups to actually have sustainable business models where they can then sell the carbon credits that they generate just from planting trees, just for the sake of planting trees, really. So they can reforest the planet basically and get paid for it and sell those carbon credits to somebody like Coyote and the Coyote marketplace. So it's like it creates a revenue stream for reforestation projects and other things like renewables and environment cleanup, crap like that. I don't mean that. I don't mean to minimize any of that work by saying crap like that, right? I mean,
right.
That's good stuff, right? I believe in planting more trees. We're cutting them down like crazy. So those people get revenue. The B2B people who are under the pressure from regulatory agencies get a discount on these like government enforced taxes from like a global governing body, the UN. So I think Coyote is like a necessary piece of that can kind of benefit both sides of it. And I think personally, I think I can make money on this. And that's where I'm looking at. Like, I'm just sitting here like, I am carbon negative, basically, I think, in my lifestyle. I live out on a farm. I grow a lot of my own food. I have permaculture things going. I never leave. I barely drive around. I do everything on the internet. I barely use electricity. So like, I'm not concerned about any of that. And I know I'm eventually going to get hit with personal tax, carbon credit taxes. And I'll be pissed about it and all that. And hopefully the millions that I make off Coyote will offset that pain. Now, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm just saying I'm personally bullish on it as a business. So, Mr. Voss, thank you for triggering all of that in my brain.
Look at you started, Mr. Voss.
Yeah, what have you done?
No, those are all great points. And I think Nate hit on something that's been all over the headlines lately in regards to the CBDCs. That's really, really concerning.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that concerns me so much more, really. But the two can be tied into it for sure, right? And, you know, the scariest example I saw was, hey, you already took one trip to one beach. So sorry, you can't take another trip to another beach because, you know, you already used up all your carbon credits for the year. And the fact that they can monitor your spending with the CBDCs like that, that's dystopian. I mean, that's just horrible.
That's terrifying. Yeah, the CBDCs, I think, are a terrible thing. Honestly, I think Digital
Mhm.
currencies are actually I think they're extremely dangerous. I think digital currencies, especially centralized digital currencies, are going to be a nightmare for the majority of the human population
Yeah.
in the long run, whether they realize it or not.
Yeah.
So
Bad people will take advantage of that. People with special interests will take advantage of that. It's almost it's just inevitable that
yeah,
bad will happen.
it's
It's
going to
just
be, I mean, they're going to be able to track every single thing you do. They already can to an extent with like our banking systems and credit card companies and all that, but it's going to be on a whole nother level where like, especially like people like, oh, go cashless. That's terrifying. Don't go cashless.
Mhm.
Cashless is a form of like a little bit of decentralization for us where I can literally go buy something from my neighbor and not have to like, get go to jail over it, right? Like
Yeah,
I
it's
can,
crazy, man.
yeah, and same with like gold and silver and like basic. I mean, it's gonna force people to go back to some kind of like bartering of commodities with their neighbors, to an extent. And I don't know. I think it's all dangerous stuff. I am. I do have a dystopian outset. You might call me a conspiracy theorist. I hope it turns out well, but people in power, especially in politics, they generally like to have more power, and the whole CBDC thing gives them like infinite power, almost power we can't even imagine in terms of controlling us and our daily lives, and takes away all of our privacy, right? So that being said, it is a necessary evil to have uh, organizations that kind of help ease that pain, if you will. So from that side of the coin, that's a part of this, right? Like if you're getting hit with these carbon credits, taxes, you're gonna be looking for some way to get help, right? To offset your tax burden, so you can maintain your business and keep supporting yourself and your family and your employees. And you're gonna look for anybody who can save you that money. And that's why I think Coyote Protocol is a cool business in terms of being able to provide a little bit of that relief on both sides of the coin. So it's
Mhm.
a necessary business service that they are kind of having a first mover advantage on. And that's why I think I can make money there. But it opens up, obviously, this huge topic. Kurt says, I call you a gooseist.
I've never heard that word before.
I guess it's because I am a man who very much loves my rescue goose Bonks.
Oh,
He's my best
the
friend. So yes,
rescue
I'm a gooseist to the max.
Got it. Got it. So I think we covered Coyote pretty good there, probably more than we thought we would. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's going to be all sorts of interesting to see how it plays out. And yeah, the CBDC thing. I mean, we can talk about this all day. I mean, what if it gets to the point where they embed in the technology the fact that, okay, so someone sent you $100, but we know that last year you made X amount. So of that $100, we're gonna embed it in the CBDC. So you only get 91 of those $100 because your tax rate should be about 9% the next year. Dude,
Nope.
think about that.
Nope. Not happening, right? Like,
Because that way they don't have to wait for their money till till the next tax season. They can just get their money up front.
it's
Which
scary, dude.
there's just it's limitless to where that can go. So yeah, pretty concerned about that, but I guess yeah.
Yeah. And we're in this weird transitionary period, right? Where it's like people from our generation will remember what it was like before the internet and like this super hardcore tracking. And yes, Lady Boss Nat, we would love to get you on here sometime.
Yeah,
Let me know when you've
anytime.
got your camera and everything all set up and we'll do it. Yeah, or they didn't, or they don't like what you wrote on Facebook and they turn your grocery spending off. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so nervous to talk about these things publicly, because I have a family, I run a nonprofit. I am at like the mercy of my government, as much as that sucks. I consider myself someone who follows a lot of libertarian ideologies. I don't associate with any political party, by the way. I see pros and cons to all of them, but I think people are corruptible, so I don't trust in any party.
Yeah.
I trust I trust in God and myself, right? But I think a lot of the libertarian ideologies make sense for me, like smaller government, less taxes, sound money, things like that. And I think we are getting away from the smaller government and the sound money to an extreme level these days. And if you talk about it, there's censorship is very real, and deplatforming and social credit scores are very real and being implemented and prototyped in China and test driven in China. And as we've seen, they've got a social credit score, right? You say the wrong thing about your government, you're in hot water. That's scary to me.
Well, you say
I
the wrong
believe
thing here, right? On YouTube, it hurts the video. It can hurt everything about it.
it hurts your business. Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's legitimate. It's a legitimate concern for sure. So yeah, I mean, we will see
Don't
where all that goes.
deplatform me, please. I just got my YouTube channel's grown fast. Please don't deplatform me.
Yeah, that would not be good. All right, so a little change of pace. I don't know if you guys we have 18 watching right now. Thanks so much for watching, but if there's a certain project or chart or something that you want us to take a look at, let us know. Alex, I just wanted to cover something really interesting that's been happening with Bitcoin basically today. Looks like we're going to be closing. What time is it? We're 2 hours away from the close, and we're going to be closing below that 19,900 number. That's so important. So that's not great. CME futures, I think, closed 7 minutes ago. So definitely closed under that number. So not to be Mr. Debbie Downer, but that statistically, from a technical analysis perspective, means we're headed down to test new lows. And unfortunately, 19K is probably inevitable at this point. At some point in time, maybe we'll have, some weird little weekend of low liquidity where everything goes up during the weekend. But when CME futures opens up again, you got to think sometime next week we're going to be at 19K. And then the markets just looked all sorts of crazy. I know Tesla's down to like 220 now, which is insane, especially considering that they still have a backlog on orders.
Now, I know at some point they did a stock split. I remember they were over like $1,000, and then didn't they do a stock split at some point?
I think they've done 2 of them. Yeah, but they did one and within the 12 months. I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, and I think it was their second one.
So in relation to their like all-time high, factoring in stock splits, do you know how they're performing? Because I know comparing just the prices can get confusing after the stock splits, right?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. I don't know the answer off the top of my head, but I think they're still performing okay. Let's go, Brando just said 1990. Poop. It's just
hey,
what's
up, Brando?
level.
Hey, Brando,
Yeah,
I'm gonna call you
Brando.
later. I haven't talked to you in a few days. Let's do a call. Yeah, man. So if you look at like the all-time, if you look at like Google or something, I think it does factor in the new price structuring. So if you go to all-time chart, like it's still looking very good. Like they're probably at only a quarter to 30%, like 35% of their all-time high. Once you factor in all that stuff, they're almost down 50%. So they're probably in that 40% range from their all-time high, which isn't so bad considering when we're dealing in crypto and everything's down like 90+% in this bear market. Tesla's doing pretty good. And also, I think last year, their sales for cars was up 47%, whereas every other car manufacturer was actually in the negative for the amount of sales. Amazing. I think. So I think Honda was like in the worst of the popular ones. They were down 48 or 49%, and this is year over year. So this was like from like last year to like this year. Honda was down like 48% on sales, where Tesla was up like 37, 38%. And like the next best one was like, I forget, one of them was down 1% on sales, maybe. And then like, I know Ford was down only a couple percent, and BMW was down like 6%. And those were the good performing ones, right? But Tesla was up 37% sales year from the previous year. So I think Tesla is going to do awesome, especially with everything we just talked about. It is trending, the whole climate change, carbon credit, renewables thing. Whether you believe in Because a lot of people will be like, well, the cost and the carbon emitted to harvest the precious metals and the materials to build those batteries and those solar panels and all that stuff and that infrastructure actually costs more than just using like a gas powered vehicle in the long run. So if you're looking at it from like a macro perspective, right now, maybe fossil fuels, I'm gonna get massacred for saying this, might be a more environmentally friendly at the current point in time with our technology, but we're at that tipping point, and there needs to be some kind of like smooth transition so it's not jolting to the quality of life of people all over the world and our pockets, right?
Well, that's where we're headed.
so I think Tesla, though, is as a company positioned well to capitalize on that transition, and that's why people have made a ton of money on them over the past few years, and I think it's going to keep going, especially as they release their semi trucks. Have you seen their electric semi trucks, Enrique?
I have. They're
nice. Crazy, dude.
Yeah,
they're going to change everything.
Cool.
They're going to change everything because shipping costs of everything is crazy, and if they can pull off truly electric semi trucks that can go uphill and not lose speed while towing thousands of pounds and can go 0 to 60 in 20 seconds, carrying thousands of pounds, that's going to be a game changer. I think they are actually hitting numbers that start making sense for the gasoline and the diesel comparison, where the electric semi truck from Tesla is supposedly going to cost 2.5 times less per mile than gas or diesel. And if they actually pull that off, that could really be a significant practical game changer. But we would also have to then go back and factor in the materials, the cost of all that, and get a real picture on it, of the full picture. But anyway, I think Tesla, because of all that, is going to do really well over the next few years. I also think they're the golden boy of the government. I think they have been chosen to lead this charge, which is why they got so much funding from the government over the past few years to start all their businesses. So long calls on Tesla. Not financial advice, but if I had a ton of money, I'd probably throw some 2-year leaps into Tesla.
Yeah. No, I think it'll be fine.
Thanks, Nate.
Long term. Yeah, there you go. It's crazy. He doesn't subscribe to you yet. No, I think Tesla will be just fine. It'll probably get that 208 level. Looks like very nice support, and I think long term this will be fine. So I think Tesla will be in fine shape. And I think you're right, Alex. It looks like this chart does take into account the stock split, because I know that it was in the thousands at one point. So this takes it into consideration for sure. And like you said, it looks like it's about 40% off the highs. Yeah, you're pretty dead on.
Yeah, and I make electric cars where the battery detaches. You lease them.
No wait.
That's actually, I think that's a great idea, Nate. Yeah.
Yeah, well, think about the wait times we saw in California last week. It was crazy.
Yeah, see, and that's another thing that we have to consider is like the range, right? Like electric vehicles still are limited by the range, and even if they put solar panels across the top and everything like that, that's going to be peanuts for the electricity that's going to consume to move that.
Like from what I understand, unless you have the best Tesla model, you can't make it straight from Austin to Houston, which is about 2.5 hour drive. You would have to get electricity somewhere, right? Or power, whatever. I guess it is electricity. You would have to get it somewhere, and that's 2.5 hours. It's insane.
That's insane, dude. And I think most of the electric vehicles on the market today, I think the best ones are pushing like 300 miles of distance. And depending on your driving style and conditions, highway versus whatever, stopping and starting in a city, it's different. But I agree. People need to know all of these things, and your location is very important if you're deciding whether you want to buy an electric vehicle or not. Because if you're in a place that doesn't have a lot of places to go charge up, it could be a very bad time for you. But if you're in like some trendy place and you only drive down the road to go to work and back into the grocery store, and you've got like electric vehicle charging stations everywhere, maybe it makes sense for you in that situation. Like if you're in LA or Austin, something like that. But if you're like me out in the country and like the nearest gas station is like many miles away, I'm gasoline or diesel all day, and it's going to be a hard sell for me. I wouldn't be getting electric unless unless the technology really drastically increases.
And less expensive, right? Because if you have to get a new engine, it's like $35K. Like, and you're gonna have to get a new engine at some point if you plan to have that car for longer than 6 years. It's I don't know, it's a lot. It doesn't seem very conducive to everyone, middle class, lower class, I don't know. They need to step that up.
Repair costs on like the fuel cell systems is insane. I actually, right out of college, I was computer science, electrical engineering, and I was all about renewable energy and all this stuff, and the technology was so cool, and I could do all the circuitry like from my engineering classes, so I was all super into that stuff. But I wasn't really very practical minded in terms of money at that time, and I probably still am not, as you all know. But I can recognize some of this stuff now, where that electric vehicle or that hybrid I bought was probably a bad idea. I paid it off, and it's paid itself off, like blah blah blah. But it's got a bad fuel cell. One of the fuel cells is bad, and in order to replace it, it would cost $3,600, which is quite a bit more than I think my car is currently worth. It's a 2008 Honda hybrid, right? So man, I really wish I would have just bought like a beater truck or just a regular Honda Civic or a Honda Accord that uses gasoline. But maybe in the next few years, though, it does start making sense practically. But at like Brando's saying, right now, it's still practically, pragmatically might not make sense. No. If you're looking at just like dollars and logistics and capabilities. But if you're in the right place, it could make sense, especially if you drive that car for 15 years and you're driving to work and back in your grocery store and you're not taking road trips across the country. It might make sense for you in that case. But in my situation here in rural Florida, no way, dude. I'm a country bumpkin. I need a 1991 Ford F-150 with an engine that won't quit, right? Like, no, Peg Hub is still going. Brando, you must have joined late. I'm doing a giveaway. This is not a sponsored video, by the way, but they did give me swag to give away. So this is going down, Brando. You said you're going to give your bomb money sweatshirt up for the giveaway. So I am just repping what I am going to be giving away at the end of this live stream. So if you're watching, you can win $100 to the shop.peghub.com merch store. They got shirts, mugs, hats, water bottles, duffel bags, all sorts of stuff. Brando said he'll throw in his bomb money sweatshirt if you're willing to give me your home address. Talk about decentralized. Give me your home address and your name, and I will give it to this guy named Brando who doesn't wear a shirt on his live streams, and he will send you something in the mail.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah, I love doing this, man. This is fun. I love giving away stuff like this. So
Brando's all over it.
Brando needs a win. Financial advice: don't give Brando your address. He is a truck driver. He knows he knows all the streets in the country. He will find you. Oh man! Oh, yes, can you put Kurt's comment on to his nuclear engine comment? Do you see that one?
I'll find it.
I thought it was pretty funny.
How did I miss that?
So Brando said he'll send the sweatshirt to me, and then I can send it to whoever. So if whoever wins, I will throw that offer out there. If you want, let's go Brando's bomb money sweatshirt. I will send that to you as well in the mail. So if you want to enter, go to my Twitter page. It's the pinned tweet at the top of my Twitter profile. And my Twitter profile is @Yabonks official. Oh, the contest is technically closed right now. Let me see if I can open it, because Kurt, you're the first person to say that during this. So let me see if I can actually turn it back on somehow for another like few minutes. Let me say 7:30 p.m. my time. So here we go. Let's see if this works. All right, for anybody listening, the swag giveaway contest, and this is like a super nice shirt. Actually, I really like this shirt. And this mug, I've been doing, if you've been watching my videos over the past 2 weeks, I've drank out of nothing but this mug. It's just like a gigantic, like, I don't have like tiny hands. This is a monster mug. Like, this is like a big old cup. It's open again. So the giveaway contest is open for another 70 minutes or until we do the giveaway. So once we do this giveaway, it will be closed, whether that's in the next 70 minutes or not. Yeah, I got a haircut, Brando. What's going on? I'm going to Dubai. So
Dubai
I got a
haircut.
Yeah, I gotta look fancy.
Gotta look sharp in Dubai. Yeah.
I'm going to be wheeling and dealing with all the sheiks over there, all the oil moguls, and I'm going to be needing to make crypto video deals on the fly. So I got to look sharp for them. No, I don't know. I'm also going to be meeting a bunch of cool people over there, so I didn't want to look like a total bum. So my wife cut my hair last night. Bless her soul.
So are you there during the conference? Because
Yes.
I know it already started. Okay, so it's
no. That's
conference.
a different There are multiple conferences. So this week
Okay.
it's a different conference, and next week when I'm going to be there, or like the following week, I think the 18th, 19th, and 20th, there is the World Blockchain Summit in Dubai, which is a completely separate event from what's happening right now. You're probably seeing people posting things like, I know Seifu like posting a bunch of stuff with like Brian Legend being like one of the keynote speakers and all that stuff. That's a different.
They won an award.
They won an award for the most innovative blockchain. New blockchain. They are also the main sponsor of that event. So I don't know if there's a correlation there or not. I'm just saying, take all that with a grain of salt. Do your own research on all this stuff. But good for them. I think that's great marketing for Seifu, right?
I'm just saying, if your chart looks like this and you're winning awards, okay.
Yeah. Well, also, I mean, you got to factor in the rebasing. Like we need to come up with the technology. We need to spend time developing like a chart that factors out rebasing and shows like the value.
Sure.
But I don't know how we would do that, but that would be a cool project to undertake. I'm actually going to probably meet Brian Legend. So they are sponsoring the World Blockchain Summit in Dubai as well. So
they're sponsoring today's episode. So thank you, Safe. No, just kidding.
No, they are not. All right. Nobody is sponsoring, even though I'm decked out in Peg Hub gear. Nobody is sponsoring this episode. I just want to show people what they could win at the end of this giveaway I'm doing. But yeah, so Brian Legend will actually, Seifu is one of the premium sponsors at the World Blockchain Summit that I am going to with James Pelton, Drew Wolfer, and the Hydro Whales Project 79 team. We're going to be there. I'm going to bring my camera. I'm going to record everything. If I see Brian Legend there, I am going to go up to him, give him a hug in front of all you. When I have my camera and I'm going to try to hug Brian Legend, I hear he's like 6'8" or something like that. It is going to be hilarious because I am even taller than that. So it's going to be like two giants meeting in real life.
How tall are you?
Yes.
No clue.
Taller than Brian Legend, I'll tell you that.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Taller than 6'8".
That's why I said this mug is gigantic.
You're taller than 6'8". Holy crap.
I'm just kidding. I'm not. I'm so bad at I can't let that go on. But I'm not. It'll be funny though, because I guess he is super tall. I don't think
Krog bought it for 1 second.
No, I am average height, so it will be funny though. I told somebody I'm going to give him Brian Legend a hug, and like it'll be funny. I don't even know if I'd have like a selfie stick that'll get both of us in the frame. It'll be like Michael Hart meeting Shaq. You know what I'm saying?
Are you taller than
Or
5'10"?
Kevin Hart. Sorry, Kevin Hart meeting Shaq. So one of my community members sent me a picture. My buddy Crypto Mark sent me a picture of Kevin Hart hugging Shaq, and it's probably gonna look like that. Yeah, that's more accurate, Rad.
That's so
So,
funny.
dude, it's gonna be a blast though. Like I'm not
Oh,
holding any
awesome.
Seifu right now. I made a couple bucks on them early on in the rebasing mania, the positive rebasing mania that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a couple bucks on that, but I didn't go back into it. I have a bunch of community members though that are like so deep in profits on Seifu, it's crazy. Like I got some whales in my community that have made many tens of thousands of dollars
Amazing.
getting in early and just like holding and selling little bits at a time, even with that price drop. So regardless, like, yeah, the price looks terrible and Brian Legend is a character and there's some like, theories
I
going
like
on
him.
around
He's
things.
entertaining. Yeah, he's entertaining.
Yeah, I think he's a funny guy. I DM him sometimes just out of the blue, just to like be like, hey, how are things going with you guys, with your community and your project, blah blah blah, or like, what are your thoughts on this? I've reached out to him a few times just out of curiosity, and he's always been very friendly to me, and he's funny. He says some funny ass shit, dude, that like catches me out off guard. I'm like, wait, what? What did you just say to me? Like, so he's a character, man. I hope everything goes well for the Seifu community, for their sake. I hope everything goes well with Seifu because I have a lot of friends in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope everything works out for them, and I'm gonna meet them next week or the following week in Dubai, and I will try to post something for all you guys, some YouTube shorts, or I'll try to live stream my meeting with Brian if I get the chance. It's gonna be fun, man. Make sure to help strategically around his man parts. You're gonna have to donate a lot of money to my animal sanctuary to see that. All right, you know what I'm saying?
I just answered Brando's question. Yes, short Loonsy. It's
You have an open short on that, right now?
Mm-hmm. I'm about to. So if I have an open order that if it gets to 28,970, my limit order will short it. But right now I got out of my short earlier today because it started looking a little nice on the 4 hour, and sure enough, it's doing it. It's if I show the 4 hours, you can see it's doing pretty well. So I thought that it was going to go up some, so I decided to put in a buy order around 28,900. I think it's 28,970 to be exact. So I'm hoping it gets up there, so it gets filled and then starts ticking down. But yeah, I'm expecting more downside for Loonsea, Luna Classic, and I think eventually you'll get down here to this 18,000 level down here. I think it's going to eventually get there in time. My only concern is that I'm in the middle of a short and they announced the Coinbase relisting, and then boom, I will be stopped out immediately, and they'll be that'll be a nice little 3K loss. But I think or 4K loss. But
damn,
hopefully it won't happen while I'm in the middle of a short. It's just kind of the risk you take. But maybe that would be the best thing to happen, right? For that Coinbase relisting to happen. Then it'll present probably the easiest short of all time. You just wait for that craziness and excitement to die down, and then you can just hammer it at will, like just unlock the hounds and just short it to where it's going to be one of those, spots like earlier this year when Phantom was at a very nice short level where you can just go crazy without any concerns. So that's kind of like the idea. So either way, it could be good. Yabonks, when are you going to get merch? You need to support your sanctuary. That's a great question.
Thanks, Kurt. I do appreciate that. So Lady Boss Nat, you guys all probably know her. She's awesome, and I've been friends with her for months now out here. She actually runs a merch like store in real life, and like so they do like really premium, high quality stuff. Like they probably could do stuff like this no problem. She keeps asking me for a high def picture of myself. And a design that I would want on a shirt. So I would love to have like a picture of Yabonks, me on my goose bonks, flying him like a dragon, with my rescue rooster Lord Henry on my shoulder as we fly into battle into the DeFi world. And that's just one of the ideas I have, but I really do need to get on that and get some merch going. And so one of the reasons my sanctuary, it's a registered nonprofit and everything. Only a couple people out here know like the name of the animal rescue and the sanctuary, just because my wife, she still thinks like DeFi and internet stuff is like scary, because I've received like threats out here and hate messages because I had covered projects that maybe have failed in the past. And
that you lost money on, by the way.
I lost a ton of money on those. Yeah, I'm out here losing money just like everybody else on those. So my wife's a little nervous, but she's coming to, as this gets bigger and bigger, like as this is growing, where she's like, well, maybe, you could tell people about, the sanctuary name and all that, but I don't know. So I'm thinking I'm going to do something in the middle where I might come up with like a specific donation address for like Bitcoin and Ethereum addresses or something like that, and allow people to donate there, and it would all then go to the sanctuary, and then that way it would keep the accounting separate, because I have received donations to my like personal wallet, and I'm going to have to like factor that out during tax time, right? So I want to have like my nonprofit like crypto donations going to separate wallets. I actually have those set up, so I will if you guys are,
but they're going from the wallet. When you send them from your wallets to your bank, are they two different bank accounts?
Yes. Yeah, I have separate bank accounts for my nonprofit business.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah. That's how we buy our hay and feed and all that stuff. So wait, Disco Chuck said you could sell a batch of NFTs, which allow the holder to rename any one of the animals in your care. You'd have to confirm with a pic of animal wearing name tag. Man, I couldn't change their names. We like these animals that we have taken, this is like their forever home, right? So like we facilitate rescues for all sorts of situations, from like point A to point B, medical care, treatment, resocialization, rehabilitation. But we only take in animals here at the sanctuary for like their forever homes on a very case-by-case basis, because those costs are crazy over the lifetime of that animal, especially the amount of time and work and labor it takes me and my wife. Like we work ourselves, like we got blisters all over our hands, calluses. Like we do hard labor here to take care of these animals. Yeah. And it costs a lot of money and everything to, $1,000 goat vet bill every couple months. Like that adds up. Same with the birds, the pigs, the dogs, the cats. It's crazy. So we've got about 30 plus animals right now, and we couldn't rename them because they're like our kids, right? So the animals we take in here are here forever. We promised them that. Great. So like our pig Scarlet, if I change her name to Scarlet, she might kill me. She's very intelligent. She'll be like, "Why are you calling me that?" But I actually do have an idea for an NFT project, and I was talking with do you know what's his name? Chris McCauley, I think. He's another YouTuber. He's a pretty big YouTuber. He actually did an animal rescue NFT a year ago or something to help other animal rescues. And I've been talking with him maybe about helping me out with starting one as well. But it's going to be, I think I may have told you about it. I have a whole different idea for an animal rescue based NFT. I don't even want to touch on the ideas because it's actually really cool. It'll become like a fun, innovative thing that's more than just like buy an NFT, the funds go to the thing, right? It'll be actually have utility and use cases, but at the same time, running a project sounds like a nightmare. So, especially with how people are out here. Cam, Fulton, yo. My dude Cam, actually, by the way, he's one of my friends out here now in DeFi. I've talked to him for a long time. He's actually donated straight to the sanctuary. So, Cam, thank you for that.
Awesome.
He covered an emergency goat surgery like 2 months ago or a couple weeks ago. He reached out to me and helped us out.
Kurt just asked you for your wallet as well. So,
oh man. All right. I guess I will drop the sanctuary wallet. I set this up a couple days ago. I haven't screw it. I'll put it out there. So this is here is the sanctuary wallet. This is EVM, by the way. So any EVM stuff, don't send like over the Bitcoin network or anything. But that wallet address I just posted is for our sanctuary, and it's like BEP20, ERC20 compatible. So anything that's like an Ethereum related blockchain, the funds should work there. I just have, I'll send the gas for whichever token it is to it if I have to move the funds. But yeah, that's it. So that's the new Sanctuary wallet. I've also got a Bitcoin wallet. If anybody is into Bitcoin, let me see if I've got that saved. I appreciate you guys for that.
Amazing. Yeah, I'll be. So just send to the EVM wallet. We can send. It has to be ETH.
ETH, anything that's EVM compatible. So
Okay.
Binance, anything on the Binance Smart Chain, anything on Ethereum Smart Chain, Avalanche, any of those that are EVM compatible networks, that's an EVM compatible wallet.
So you can send USDT, BUSD, doesn't matter, USDC. You can send it all to that.
You can send it all to that, yeah.
Even on the
anything.
Binance.
You can send shit. You can send me some shit tokens. You can send me stables. You can send me gas tokens. Anything is super appreciated. And all the funds going to that wallet will go to the care of the animals. And yeah, and it's all public.
Okay.
And I'll also send.
I still have those Caesar. Remember that rebates token Caesar? I still have those tokens. So I'll send those to you, so you can't say I didn't send you any tokens.
Don't send me shit.
Remember Caesar? You guys remember Caesar? It was supposed to be like the next Titano, maybe, but didn't happen.
So here's the Bitcoin address. I set up a Bitcoin Taproot address. I think Taproot's all backwards compatible with SegWit and BTC Native. So any donations to that Bitcoin address also will go to the Sanctuary and only the Sanctuary. It will not go to my DeFi degen portfolio. If that's if you guys are worried about any of that. So yeah, I thank you guys for taking interest in that. For real. Thank you guys. Like me and my wife are deep in credit card debt from our animal rescue because, life happens, animals have medical issues, and we just kind of take the hits on our credit card and then just keep going. And we've been working each multiple jobs for years to try to fund this thing. And we're still going, and we're only going to get bigger, especially as I blow up this YouTube thing. I'm going to take this thing as far as I can to generate funds. And all the money we basically get goes into the Sanctuary personally as well. We do set aside a little bit of money for food and stuff for ourselves and the mortgage, which I guess is part of the Sanctuary because we live on the Sanctuary. But thank you guys. I appreciate that a lot.
No, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Brando, send me some boob token. That sounds very lucrative. That's
Okay, looks like Cam's been building on the Cardinal stuff. So if you guys haven't checked out Cardinal House, check them out.
Yeah. Yep. And Cam, I'm gonna give a testimonial to Cam for Cardinal and Obsidian. Both of those organizations have been, really good to me over the past couple of months, and they've been a pleasure to work with. They've saved me from some really painful situations. And I use both those groups to cross-reference. I'm like, is this project legit? Are they real or are they scammers? Because I see you've already talked with them, and they can say stay away from those guys, or like, no, they're cool. So I'm going to be giving some testimonials for House of Obsidian as well as Cardinal House. I think they're both great groups. So if you guys haven't checked them out, go check them out.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely go check them out. There's so much cool stuff there. Trying to think what else. We've been going for an hour and a half. I think we covered it all. I think the only other thing, Alex, was that more news came out again about that guy we talked about last week, Lark Davis.
That guy. Oh.
Again. So apparently he somehow found out about the Celsius thing before, I guess everyone else did. So he was able to get 2.5 million out of his Celsius account just in the nick of time. So it just keeps getting worse as far as the information from that guy. Yeah. Yes. Same guy, Zach, what is it? XBT or whatever. He figured that one out too.
So Lark pulled out $2.5 million out of Celsius right before that whole debacle where they froze everybody's accounts and stuff.
And he had sent out a tweet of like, oh man, I guess we better get our stuff out. And it turned out that he had already taken all his money out before that tweet, like days before that tweet. So
dude, that's awful. Well, I don't want to, I always,
DJ Cardinal House. That could be DJ. That's a good DJ name.
Just responding to that one. That was funny. yeah, so that could just be unfortunate timing. Like so I got to play devil's advocate here. Or I guess this would be like devil's advocate, be like inverse devil's advocate, because
Inverse.
yeah, because we're assuming he did something nefarious there, but at the same time, maybe it was just like a crazy timing coincidence that he pulled that out, and it just looks very very suspicious. So I always want to give people the
Crazy.
benefit of the doubt, obviously, but yeah, that
crazy timing. Yeah.
Def-
Especially because all those tokens that he told everyone they're about the 100x, he literally sold them right after sending out all those tweets, right? So
yeah, that's bad.
it's like-
That's bad,
but,
man.
yeah, I don't indefensible, I think.
Yeah, like I think there's a way to take profits if you like make a marketing deal with a project or something. Like there is like there are nuances to it, right? And you have to like factor in the effect that if you were to get native tokens and sell them, what would that effect be on the liquidity and your overall community that you just marketed to, right? So like you have to kind of think really hard on like how to do that responsibly. Now, like I'm a super small fish out here, right? So like I'm not moving any prices. If I sell anything, like if I sell a couple $100 of something, it's not going to really do anything. But like somebody like him who's selling $400,000 at once, that can wreck a small cap project's price in the short term, right? And that's like where you really need to like be thinking long and hard. Like, okay, maybe you need to start taking marketing payments for your time and risk and effort and your platform and the value you add to a project. Maybe you need to start thinking about taking those marketing payments in dollars in a stable coin, right? So like that way you're not sitting there holding a bag that you could just drop and wreck a whole project and community, because that's especially one that you just marketed, especially if your marketing style is the moon boy thing, right? Because if you're a moon boy and you're saying this is the next 100x, and then you go and you dump the next day, that seems a little disingenuous, and I think is an ethically gray area for sure. And I think it's
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he meant to say short. He forgot to say short.
This is my next 100x short. Yeah.
Rybear, we talked about spring games quite a bit at the start of today's show. Definitely check it out once we're done. I think we talked about spring games for like 20 minutes. Austin Clark was in here. He jumped in, added a bunch of good stuff. Alex knew of the situation as well. So definitely check out the start of our show today. We covered it in great detail. Actually had no idea so much was going on behind the scenes. And yeah, Austin had a lot to say. So
yeah,
really
he did, because I think Austin just got into it, and like I almost ROI'd on like my couple trees I had. I didn't have a ton in there, but I know Austin just recently bought a bunch of trees. So yeah, check it out. There's like 20 or 30 minutes. We really dove deep into that. We won't get into it again, but
Disco Chuck, I bet it is.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah. So
This
other
sucks.
than that, guys, trade safe this weekend. This weekend looks very, very interesting. I think Bitcoin is I was talking to Brando earlier. It's looking pretty bad on the 4 hour, but weekend action is crazy, right? Because it's so liquid, so anything can happen. But yeah, all the technicals are screaming that Bitcoin's headed to 19K or 18.9 and change. So hopefully that will hold. And yeah, guys, it's a weird time to be alive, right? I mean, the fact that Biden was almost acknowledging the fact that it's in the realm of possibilities, like a nuclear war. It's just so scary, right? It's just like, it's a weird time to be alive.
They say that every couple of years, though. Like, I don't think I personally don't think the globalists are gonna nuke the planet and destroy the environment that they are currently, what's the
Can
word
they
I'm looking
control
for?
Putin though? Can they control Putin?
Bro, I think it's all kabuki theater for real. On a grand scale that we can't even imagine, controlled by people that are so rich we're not allowed to know about them. So I don't think those people are going to scourge the earth in a way that they can't enjoy all of the finer niceties of life all across the world.
Life's great. Life's
Yeah, I
awesome.
mean, if you have trillions of dollars and you're exploiting everybody everywhere, then like, why would you burn the whole thing down? They're not going to do that. I don't think so.
I hope you're right, because yeah.
Disco Chuck. Oh, Disco Chuck.
I love it. Well,
So,
guys,
man,
I think that's it. Unless if someone wanted to cover a specific project or anything else, I can't think of it. And I mean, we could have done this forever, right? There's always something to talk about.
dude, I could talk DeFi forever. You know that. Like, if you get me on, if you schedule a call with me and you get me on a call, I will talk with you for hours to the detriment of all of my future scheduled calls and meetings that day. And so that's why, like, I have to be very careful about when I schedule phone calls and things like that, because I love to talk about DeFi stuff so much. Because my wife, she won't talk to me about it, and the animals, they don't respond to me when I ask them, "Hey, did you hear about spring game?" They're just like, like they don't get it, man. You get it. All you guys listening and responding get it. Oh, all right. Rybear brought up a really good one. What do you guys think of investing? Not investing. What do you guys think about participating in balancer dexes? I do this linguistic thing because this is unregulated. None of these are like securities or anything like that. So like I can't really use the word investing if you're in the United States or wherever else. Like, know the laws and regulations before you
You're
participate in any crypto projects. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. These are not securities. These are just games. These are all DeFi games that we are playing in. So even
and
dexes,
I second that. That.
Yeah, because like man, Kim Kardashian, bro, they went after Kim Kardashian. How are they going to go after Kim Kardashian like that? Anyway, yeah, gambling, I agree, is super gambling, but balancer dexes, I think, are super cool. And I think Equinox is awesome. Personally, I know a lot of people are like, it's very new on Binance Smart Chain, but I think it has a lot of potential. And I know some people who have been making bank on it because they know the inner workings better than other people, right? So there's a way that you can strategically balance how much you have in the dynamo, which gives you 2.5 times your rewards on any other liquidity pool that you're farming. So if you own 1% of the dynamo, you can get 2.5 times your rewards on up to 1% of any other pool, right? So yeah, balancer is OP. It's overpowered. So if you know how to play balancer dexes, you can make stupid money. Like I have, there's like a whale group that I'm aware of that is just like they know the game and they are just like using their voting power basically to say, all right, guys, this week let's farm the liquidity on the A share pool, or let's farm the liquidity, or they might think blue chips are going up this week. Let's farm the liquidity on the blue chip pools. So they'll move their voting power over to that pool that they want to see boosted. And then on top of that, they're getting their own specific 2.5 times dynamo boost. So I'm seeing people making 3, 4, 5% per day staking on Equinox, because they know what they're doing and they're strategically staked a portion in the dynamo and then a portion in the pools. And then they're like, I know people making 1% a day on stables in there because of that, bro. I know people making 2-3% on blue chip crypto in there. I know people making 4-5% on A share pool, AIMS pool, the AAA pool. Dude, stupid numbers. And I've actually been meaning to make a video. I have like a few of these whales in the community that are willing to come on to a show with me or to do a video where they will show me their spreadsheets and their numbers of what they're actually making. Because if you look at the UI, it doesn't factor in those super boosted rewards, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't factor that in. So they know how to, they figured out though, based on what they've received every day, what they're actually making based on what they have in the dynamo. So keep in mind this, you have to have something staked in the dynamo to get that 2.5x boosted reward. So you have to like think strategically. If I put this percent, if you're saying I want to put in $1,000 into this, how do I maximize that? And there are strategies, and you can go in there. That people talk about these strategies if you look for them, where you put in like X amount staked in the dynamo, where basically you're setting and forgetting that. And that's going to give you the 2.5x boost up to that certain percent of the dynamo that you own. And then you put up to that certain percent in another one of the liquidity pools or multiple liquidity pools. Think about that. So if you only own 0.02% of the dynamo, then if I would only go up to 0.02% of any of the other pools, and I would, as soon as I hit that limit in another pool, I would put that 0.2% into the next pool, and then into the next pool, and boost my rewards across all of them. And then that way you don't have to put a ton into the dynamo to get a large effect across multiple pools that you're staked in. So that's why, like somebody like me who has a small amount, I have like 0.001% of the dynamo or something. So like I'm only going to put 0.001% in any of the pools. As soon as I've maxed out this pool, I'm going to move to the next one and the next one until they're all getting me 2.5x boosted rewards. Then I'll jack up my stake in the dynamo a little bit, and then I'll jack up my stake in all those pools and maximize their yields. So I'm going to do a video with some of these whales who they're like accountants like you, where they've got spreadsheets and they've got all fancy tracking.
Sounds really interesting. Yeah. Sounds really interesting.
It's a lot of research. Like people, it's not intuitive. If you haven't really done the deep dive on a balancer dex, you will not understand this. If you're used to pancake swap and uniswap and traditional liquidity farming, you might just see, okay, this pool is giving me X percent APR. So, oh, that's not super desirable to me. I might put my money elsewhere. But if you boost it strategically and you lay out a plan like that, then you can start getting some numbers that they're pretty crazy looking numbers, to be honest. So not financial advice. Do your own research, please. Check out their Discord and everything. So all these balancer dexes though are coming out. Champion Finance is coming out with one in November, I think, on Avalanche. And I believe Frozen Walrus is working on a balancer style dex also, I think, on Avalanche. Is that right, Enrique?
I know Frozen Walrus is on Avalanche, so I would assume it's going to be on Avalanche, but I didn't know anything about their bouncer.
So you know how like pancake swap forks were like the thing for a while, the trendy thing, like yes. Pancake swap dexes. Well, now the new trend is balancer style dexes. Every project wants to have their own balancer style dex. So I think we're going to see balancer style dex wars across these different projects and networks, as everybody's going to try to get the the main balancer style dex on their network. And I think Equinox has that first mover advantage on Binance Smart Chain. We got balancer, I think, over on Ethereum, so they've already got that. And then I think right now we're going to see a kind of a competition between Champion and Frozen Walrus as they're trying to get a balancer style dex going on Avalanche.
It's so interesting to see how things change.
I agree. And it's not an easy fork either. So it's a lot more involved than a pancake swap fork. It's like 60 smart contracts, and you gotta like massage it really well and then do the whole front end to work with it. So yeah, guys, I know. Let me do this giveaway. All right. I know a lot of you are waiting.
Oh yeah, let's do the giveaway.
Let's do the giveaway real quick. Yeah. I don't get me started talking on anything, Enrique. What are you guys thinking? All right, let's see. How do I pick the winner?
I'm still getting over the whole thing that you're telling me you're taller than 6'8". I was just like, I just couldn't picture it.
I know. I kid. So, all right. Bribe Wars. Bribe Wars is a thing. Look up Bribe Wars on Balancer style dexes. That's how you can see the price of the Balancer style dex reward token start going parabolic. So like, a reward token in a dex is generally going to go down because it's a reward token being emitted. But as people start understanding how a balancer style dex works and they start boosting their rewards, it'll start coming back up, hopefully. And that's what we've been seeing with Equinox. It went down and then it came back up and it's leveling out. And then the bribe wars, if companies come in and try to buy up the voting and governance power for that whole dex, then they all start fighting over that AEQ token or whatever, and the price will go crazy beyond what us retail will be able to do. We'll see projects putting their treasuries basically into the AEQ token for governance purposes so they can control the voting power on where those emissions go to for the liquidity pools that they will then also try to farm. The whole strategies I just told you about. Anyway, here we go. Let me share my screen.
Okay.
I told you this is a giant cup of coffee. These cups are monstrous. So I highly recommend it. Whoever wins this contest, get the giant cup of coffee because it's good. It is good. All right. Now, can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So I am going to pick one winner. There are 255 entries right now. And so I'm going to click draw winner, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to turn off screen sharing and then turn it back on because I don't want to show their email address and stuff like that because it will pop up with their email address. So you see this now. I am going to stop screen sharing and now I'm going to hit draw winner and hit draw.
Oh, I can't see it anymore.
I know. I don't want to draw it because it'll show their email address.
Oh, gotcha.
But I wanted to show you the screen before, and I'm going to show you it. All right, so I'm going to announce the winners on the widget. It will give the name of it's Tariq or Tariq from the United Arab Emirates. That is awesome. So I'm going in Dubai, Tariq, in a week. Hit me up, bro. I will give you Brando's sweatshirt. No, I'm not gonna fly. I'm not gonna take up my luggage space. So let me announce this with avatars. Or no, I don't want to show their avatar. I want to like keep things private because I don't want to like dox anybody because it does show their email address and stuff like that and their name. All right, so if I go now to the page, it should show it. Did it do it? Oh yeah, I need to end the contest as well. Doxing is okay, right there, yeah. Doxing is scary. If I doxed somebody accidentally, I can be like legally liable, right? So got to be careful with all that stuff. All right, if you go to the Gleam page and you refresh it, you should see, here, let me share my screen again.
Okay.
Boom. It is now showing on the widget itself. I ended the contest and I picked the winner, and the winner is somebody named Tariq or Tariq. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm saying Tariq because of the show 90 Day Fiance. There was a guy named Tariq, and it was spelled the same way. So I don't know if that's right or not. Tariq, whatever. Congratulations, man. You're going to get $100 worth of Peg Hub swag. Now, keep in mind, anybody listening, don't rage quit just yet. Let me stop sharing my screen because I want to pull up his Twitter page. I got to double check this real quick to make sure they're not like a total scam account. There are some ways I can see.
Yeah, you can kind of tell.
Yeah. So let me verify his actions, make sure he didn't use bots. Okay, he
legit.
Well, he didn't. He did all the tasks, and he looks real. He's got a
Okay.
long running Twitter page. He seems to love crypto and NFTs. And Tariq, congratulations, man.
All right.
He has won, and the thing that won for him was the bonus task. If you complete 6 tasks, you get a bonus 3 entries. That's what won for him. So if you're listening and I do a Gleam contest in the future, make sure to do all as many tasks as possible because I have bonus tasks that pop up if you do enough of them that give you extra entries into it. I'm just figuring out how to use Gleam, so I'm getting better at it every time. Congrats, Tariq. I will get in touch with him if for some reason Peg Hub merch shop does not work for him. Like if they're like shipping and customs issues with his country and everything. I will pick a new winner next time, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't think there should be any issues, but if there is, I will let you guys know if he can't accept the gift for whatever reason. But for all purposes, Tariq has won. Congratulations, buddy. I'll get in touch with you. I'll send you a DM and an email. I will email you and DM you and cross-reference both so you can make sure we're both talking to the same people. Do not send anybody your seed phrase. None of that's necessary. You don't need to send anybody anything, Tarek. I will literally be sending you a code that will give you $100 worth of credits in the Peg Hub merch shop where you can buy this cool stuff. So you can wear some crypto swag. It almost looks like I'm wearing a Pornhub shirt. So like it's edgy and it says like crypto staking revolutionize on the back. Anyway, that's it, Enrique. I know you got to get going, so I'll wrap that up.
All right. Well, everyone, thanks for watching. And I think next week, no show, right? Because you're in Dubai. So.
Oh man, I love this show though. Dang it.
So Nat, we'll get you on the week after. Since we'll have no show next week.
Well, his cart comes out to 101.99. That happened to me on a different merch shop. That actually happened to me that's happened to me, Kurt. Also, I'm going to be doing another giveaway. So I only like to run one giveaway at a time because it takes a lot of time to like manage it and do all the stuff for it. My next giveaway is going to be a pre-send NFT. All right. A pre-send NFT. Very hot right now. Everybody's trying to get some. I don't, did they mint out? I forget.
I don't know.
So you might not even be able to buy these anymore at the moment, but I'll be doing a pre-send NFT for my next giveaway. It probably just keep an eye out on my Twitter page and on YouTube. All right. So thanks, Enrique, for letting me put that out there.
Of course. All right, guys. Everyone, take care. Thanks for watching.
All right. See ya.